If you're searching for a laptop that can keep up with your busy professional life, today's video is for you. We're going to break down the 6 best business laptops on the market, each one built to handle everything from everyday tasks to demanding workloads with ease. Whether you're a remote worker, a frequent traveler, or someone who needs reliable performance in the office, we've got you covered. These laptops aren't just about power. They're about making sure your workflow stays smooth and efficient, no matter where you are. So, stick around as we take a closer look at the top contenders and help you find the perfect business companion for your career. Number 6. Microsoft Surface Pro 11th Edition. If you want a versatile work device that you can also use as a tablet for media consumption, get the Microsoft Surface Pro 11th Edition 2024, one of the best laptops for business and personal use we've tested. Unlike our top pick above, the HP Spectre X360 2024, this is a tablet PC with a detachable keyboard. Removing the keyboard makes the device easier to hold as a tablet and takes up less space on a table. The downside is that it's a bit more unstable when using it as a laptop on your lap. Like previous Surface Pro type cover keyboards, the new Flex keyboard feels spacious and comfortable. And it now works even when disconnected from the device, giving you more flexibility to position the tablet to your liking. It also has a new haptic touchpad that's larger and easier to use. Unfortunately, the keyboard is still a separate purchase. The same goes for the stylus. An important consideration for business use is this tablet uses an ARM processor. The Snapdragon chips are more than adequate to handle general productivity tasks, and they're quite power efficient, giving you an all-day battery life. That said, you need to ensure that the apps you use are compatible or run well enough through Microsoft's Prism emulation layer to get your work done. There are 2 display options. Models using the Snapdragon X Plus have an IPS panel, while the X Elite models come with an OLED panel. The OLED display will give you deeper blacks, but it exhibits the screen door effect, meaning the digitizer is visible, creating a grid-like pattern that some may find distracting. Also, OLEDs are susceptible to permanent burn-in. Other than that, this is a great device overall. Number 5. Apple MacBook Pro 14. For people needing to do a bit of everything, including graphic design, photo editing, and maybe even making short videos for their website, we recommend the M4 Apple MacBook Pro 14 2024, one of the best laptops for small business use that we've tested. This 14-inch workstation is available with Apple's M4 base, Pro, and Max SoCs. The Pro and Max SoCs can handle nearly anything, including demanding tasks like video editing and complex graphic design. Its 120 Hz thin mini LED display provides good visibility in well-lit settings and is well calibrated out of the box. The display gets brighter in SDR than the previous generation and is available with a new nano-texture finish to combat glare. As for the user experience, you get many of the same niceties as the Apple MacBook Air 15 2024 above, like the keyboard and touchpad, along with some new features including a 12MP webcam with Apple's Center Stage feature and a wider port selection with Thunderbolt 5 support M4 Pro and Max models for peripherals and external displays. On the Windows side, we recommend the Lenovo ThinkPad P1 Gen 7 2024. This is also a premium workstation laptop that can handle intensive workloads. It features a 16-inch display for multitasking, Lenovo's beloved keyboard and track point, a huge haptic touchpad, and an excellent 1440p webcam. While its Intel Meteor Lake processors can't quite keep up with a maxed-out MacBook Pro in CPU workloads, you can get more raw GPU performance if you go with one of the higher-end GPUs, like the NVIDIA RTX 80A Generation 3000, or RTX 4070. As for the RAM, you can only get up to 64 GB, whereas the MacBook Pro is configurable with up to 128 GB. But the RAM is user replaceable, as is the storage, allowing you to add up to 96 GB of RAM and 8 TB of storage. Unfortunately, it gets hotter and louder under load, and none of the available displays get as bright as the MacBook Pro's mini LED panel. Still, if you need a reliable device that can wear many different hats, this is a great option. Number 4. Apple MacBook Air 15. Although Windows is the most used operating system in the corporate business world, some of you may prefer or have the option to use a MacBook, especially in this remote work era. If so, we recommend the Apple MacBook Air 15 2024, one of the best laptops for business and personal use we've tested. This laptop is an incredibly well-built, ultra-portable that comes with Apple's M3 Silicon. Its performance is excellent for most productivity tasks, including some light photo or video editing. Its 15-inch display gives you plenty of room for split-screen multitasking, and it gets bright enough to combat glare, even outdoors in broad daylight. It also features best-in-class battery life, so you can comfortably get through a full workday on a single charge. The user experience is great. The keyboard feels spacious and tactile, and the touchpad is large and responsive. You get an excellent 1080p webcam, so your colleagues can see and hear you clearly on video calls. You get an excellent 1080p webcam, so your colleagues can see and hear you clearly on video calls. Port selection is the major pain point here, as you only get 2 USB-C Thunderbolt 3 ports. While you can use these to connect to 2 external monitors, this only works if the lid is closed. If you plan to use an external monitor with the laptop closed or prefer a more compact device for on-the-go use, you can get the Apple MacBook Air 13 2024. It's cheaper, but the speakers don't sound as good. Unlike the 15-inch model, Apple still sells the Apple MacBook Air 13 2022 with the M2 SoC as a budget-friendly option, coming in at $100 USD cheaper than the 2024 model. Number 3. Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3 iChromebook 14. If you want to spend as little as possible, get the Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3 iChromebook 14 2023. This 14-inch Chromebook is a great option for anyone needing a simple device to do light work like responding to emails, text processing, spreadsheets, and video playback. The Core i3 configuration, paired with a FHD touch-sensitive display, 8 GB of RAM, and 128 GB of storage, is often on sale for around $400 directly from Lenovo. There are cheaper configurations, however. We don't recommend them unless you have an extremely light workload and don't mind compromising on the display quality. The touch-sensitive FHD display gets bright enough for well-lit settings and is reasonably color accurate. Above the display sits an excellent 1080p webcam, so your colleagues and clients can see and hear you clearly on video calls. The keyboard feels spacious but a tad mushy, and the touchpad is small and not always responsive. For those new to Chrome OS, know that this operating system is limited in the type of applications you can install, so you must ensure you can do everything through a Chrome browser or Android app. Number 2. Asus VivoBook 16M 1000D 605. The best laptop for business we've tested for when you're shopping on a budget is the Asus VivoBook 16M 1605 2023. This ultra-portable feels well-built for the price and isn't overly bulky for a 16-inch device, so it's still easy to carry around. You can get this laptop with an AMD Ryzen 5 or Ryzen 7 CPU, which are more than adequate to handle general productivity tasks. As for the RAM, it has 8 GB soldered onto the motherboard and a SO-DIMM slot, so if you can't find a model with 16 GB, you can always get an 8 GB model and upgrade it yourself. Its battery life is okay at around 8 hours of light use, which means you may need a quick charge to get through a typical workday, depending on your usage. This model delivers a pretty good user experience overall. It has a spacious full-size keyboard with a numpad, which is handy for those working with lots of numbers, as well as a large and responsive touchpad. You get Wi-Fi 6E wireless connectivity, a fingerprint sensor for quick logins, and a decent port selection with 3 USB-S, a USB-C, and an HDMI. Unfortunately, the USB-C doesn't support video output, so you'll have to use the HDMI port to connect an external display. The main drawback of this laptop is the display. Its 1080p resolution looks reasonably sharp at this screen size. However, it's quite dim at around 250 CDM, 2% of brightness, so visibility may be an issue in well-lit rooms. It also looks washed out due to its narrow color gamut. Number 1. Acer Swift Go 14. Our mid-range pick is the Acer Swift Go 14 2024. This thin and light 14-inch model offers many features that are normally found on higher-end devices. One standout feature at this price point is the display options. You can choose between an FHD plus IPS or a 2.8K OLED panel for the display. The OLED display is sharper and better suited for color-critical work, which is great for small businesses that need to do some light photo editing. Just remember that OLEDs are susceptible to permanent burn-in and will drain the battery faster. As for performance, it features Intel Meteor Lake CPUs, which are powerful enough to handle fairly demanding tasks. You can get up to 32 GB of RAM and 2 TB of storage, though only the latter is user replaceable. This laptop feels very well built despite having a little more plastic in its construction than premium models like the HP Spectre, X360 2024. Above, it has a spacious, albeit slightly mushy keyboard, a large and responsive touchpad, a 1080p webcam with facial recognition support, and a wide port selection that includes 2 Thunderbolt 4-seconds and an HDMI. Its battery life is excellent at around 11 hours of light use. You can charge the laptop via USB-C. So that wraps up our list of the best business laptops. If this video was useful to you, kindly click the thumbs up button. Which one are you going to pick? Describe your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an updates. Everyone who had come this far, I'm hoping to see you in the next video.